How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the live stream. It is the middle of the week. Happy Wednesday. We are so excited to have you, and we have a good show for you today. Lots to talk about. It is an interesting topic. We're going to be talking about spring maintenance checklist for your post frame building because winter is almost over and spring is approaching. It is going to be March 20th. It's coming up, you guys, about a month away. So we want to let you know what to prepare for to maintain your building during these times. But before we get to that, as always, let's hop into our usual segment for the day. Let's talk about Where's Mallet. We have 97 different jobs going on in about 94 different cities. Tons happening right now, you guys. Even in the week of Mardi Gras, all this craziness going on, we still have 97 jobs going on. We're very proud about that. The logistics, insane. Scheduling, if you're watching, thank you so much for all you do, helping keep this gravy train on the tracks. Now, where we are in Louisiana, we have 67 different job locations happening from Doosan, Houma, Rain with delivery scheduled this week to Bush, Covington, Lake Charles on the ground, Baton Rouge, Iowa, Kaplan in construction. We also see Lake Charles again on the map, have some more stuff going on, some inspections going on in St. Martinville. Broussard, Denham Springs, Downsville have some fill sand. We're forming in Brobridge, Denham Springs, Evans, Florine. Got gutters in Franklinton, Iowa, and Lockport and more. Rain, Sulphur, Opelousas got concrete. Branch, Brobridge, New Orleans, we have plumbing. Then Maurice, Sulphur, electrical and red tags in DeQuincy, Lockport, Oberlin, and more. All that to say, there is a lot going on this week, you guys. That is 97 different places where people have decided mallet buildings is worth the wait. Yes, we have a lot of jobs going on, which means there's a little bit of wait time between signing and getting your building under construction. But we want you to know that is not for any reason other than we are what people are considering and what we happily say the best builders around. And to me, that is worth the wait. We have engineered trusses. We are fully engineered throughout the entire process. We're not just purchasing trusses from a third party. We make them ourselves specific to your build, and a lot of other information that will be out soon. But that to say this, that is why there's so much going on, and mallet is worth the wait. Now, moving right along, also happy Wednesday, Mr. Tim. Thank you for tuning in. To Texas, we have 24 job locations. We have, again, delivery, construction, inspections, fill sand, plumbing, concrete, gutters, control joints, electrical, HVAC, red tags, all happening just this week. So as you can imagine, that is a lot going on. We're very proud of that, and Texas is moving strong with that. We've seen Where's Mallet. Let's talk about why mallet. And this goes into the wait time we were talking about, why people are waiting so many weeks to begin construction on their mallet building. I've been asking several people. Mr. Tim has been one of them. His response will be posted soon, but I'm just asking customers, why were you willing to wait for mallet buildings? And the response has been beautiful. It's been very fun to see and hear true customer stories. Hopefully we can earn one from you and figure out what you love so much about your mallet building. But speaking of mallet buildings, let's talk about why. So we have the Rival Series. As Mr. Trent likes to say, this has been modeled after the industry standard, the competitor builds, anything that's not a mallet building pretty much, because we understand not everyone has a budget that can meet a mallet elite, which I say that to say this, it is not as expensive as you might think. But that being said, there are just truly budget-friendly shoppers who need 4 walls and a roof. That's what the Rival Series is. Now, the Rival Series is going to have 29 gauge metal. It's going to have a 4-on-12 roof pitch, 2x6 trusses. They're going to be common flat trusses. You're going to have a 130-mile-an-hour wind-rated building, no uplift control, so no mallet cable locks. No mallet cable lock system. The posts are going to go directly into the dirt or gravel or whatever aggregate is there. Going to have 2x8 headers, 3,000 PSI concrete, no ground protection, so no skirt board guards. We're also going to have a limited warranty and number 2 untreated generic lumber. Now, what does this get you? It gets you a good building. It gets you a building that's going to meet code, meet all the industry standards, and be just as good as anything else you can find in the area. Now, we say that to say this. We understand this is a good building, but we want to direct your attention to what is a great building. Now, you're going to see the differences here from the get-go on the 26 gauge metal. 26 gauge metal is going to be thicker, stronger, more durable, and last longer than 29 gauge metal, which right off the bat in a metal building, that's something you obviously are going to want to consider when making your purchase. We're also going to have a 5-on-12 roof pitch as opposed to a 4-on-12. What does that mean? So with a roof pitch, when it says 5-on-12, for every 12 inches or 1 foot you go this way, you're going to jump up 5 inches this way. Now, consider that on a 4-on-12 roof pitch, so for every foot you lose an inch as opposed to a 5-on-12. That means when you have your building and that roof is going to have a steeper roof pitch, it's going to shed water, debris, leaves, whatever may be, pine needles, and things like that are going to clog on your building, get in your gutters, and if you have screws that weren't all the way put in like some people, it's going to wrap around those screws and help cause leaks on your building. So that roof pitch, though it may not seem like much of a difference from a 5-on-12 to a 4-on-12, not only is it more aesthetically pleasing, it is more functional, and over the long run of the building, it's going to better protect your building and the investment, which is the building and your materials inside, which your boats, your RVs, whatever you're using, if it's a barn dominium, whatever you're using your building for, long-term protection is going to be better with a steeper roof pitch. Now, we're also going to have 2x8 cathedral trusses. You noticed over here, it's a 2x6 common flat truss. 2x8 is going to be much, much thicker, much more rigid, as Mr. Darrell says, and they're going to be third-party inspected trusses as well. Now, going back to cathedral trusses, that's also commonly known as a scissor truss. And if you're not familiar with what that is, a common truss is going to be flat on the bottom. A scissor truss is going to be like this, almost like a triangle. And that's going to give you much more headroom on the building. Also, the third-party inspections ensure we do what we say we're going to do, as well as that the process is not only to code and standards, but how we promote it is going to be, and we're happy to say we passed those tests with flying colors. Now, the building itself is going to have a 170-mile-an-hour wind load rating on the roof. Between the cathedral trusses that are 2x8 all the way through, no 2x4, no 2x6 interwebbing, the 2x12 headers, everything else that is involved, the ollie log screws, the Zac screws, everything is going to come together to help create a 170-mile-an-hour wind rating on the roof system. The building itself on the classic level is going to be 140-mile-an-hour wind load rating, 150 on the signature, and 160 on the elite. We're also going to have the mallet cable lock system, and I'll always take a few seconds to talk about this because it is one of my favorite features, as it is our uplift control. I'm not sure of any other builders who have uplift control, especially not like this, hence the name mallet cable lock system. It is something Mr. Lee invented a long time ago, and he's been putting it on all the buildings since, and that is the main reason why we have not lost a single building to a hurricane that has had the mallet cable lock system. Now, what is this system that we're talking about? It is going to be a system of 1/8 inch aircraft cable that goes from post to post, connected at the base of all the posts around the building. It's going to this way, that way, all ways, connecting everything together. Under that, you're going to have a moisture barrier between it and the ground. You're also going to have, you're going to have the concrete, which in this case is 4-inch 4,000 PSI concrete, poured directly on top of that and intertwining with that, and that is going to lock that building down, because in post-frame construction, as I'm sure most of you are aware, or maybe not, and here's an educational moment, all of the weight of the building is going to be on the posts. You're going to have zero structural weight that is going to be on the foundation or the concrete of the building. All of it is going to be driven through the post, which in our case are 6x6 posts. So this cable lock system holds the entire dead weight of the slab on that system. And when a high wind scenario, like a hurricane for instance, comes in, and inevitably if it knocks the door in or breaks a window or messes up the roll-up door, and wind is able to get into that building, as you know, wind is going to want to find somewhere to escape from. What does that mean? It means it's going to try and go up and out, and that creates almost like a parachute effect, which is considered uplift. This uplift control, or the mallet cable lock system, prevents that, and it holds that building down because, again, the weight of that slab. Mr. Tim actually did some wonderful calculations one time, and maybe he still has those numbers if he's still watching. He calculated how much weight was actually holding his building down based on the square footage and poundage of his concrete. It was super fascinating. Mr. Tim, if you're watching and still have those calculations, we'd love to see them. I got the prompter working again so I can see those comments in real time. So if you're watching, I'd love to see those calculations. So moving along, the concrete doesn't just stop there. It also goes under every post. Those 6x6 posts we talked about has an 80-pound bag of concrete under every one of those posts that serve as a post pad. This is going to prevent unwanted settling and shifting of the building and give it a firm foundation to sit on. We talked about the headers, the concrete, skirt board guards for ground protection. It's going to help prevent all of that pesky issues at the bottom and just give you a little bit more protection. 4-year workmanship warranty is the standard here at Mallet. From there, we're going to have a 6-year on the Signature and 10-year on the Elite. There he is right there. Mr. Tim said there is a 480,000 pounds of concrete holding his building down. So he has a pretty large building. He made it into a barn dominium. It's 2 sections, of course, a living quarters and a massive shop and RV storage. But between all the concrete used, again, there's no weight on the slab itself. The building itself rests on the post. So the concrete weight is about, we'll say, 500,000 pounds of concrete holding his building down thanks to the cable lock system and that concrete. So I'm not sure how much force a hurricane rips up, but I don't believe it's pulling your building anywhere, Mr. Tim. So thank you very much for those calculations. So all the wood, as we mentioned, is going to be #1 MCA ground treated and kiln dried. That means everything from the floor to the roof is going to be treated. So we're in Louisiana, and if you're in the surrounding areas, Texas, Mississippi, Alabama, all of the Gulf Coast areas are obviously going to have termites and those issues and wood destroying insects. This MCA ground treatment is going to help prevent all of that, and add is on again from the base and the ground to the roof. So even the roof is going to be protected from those wood destroying insects. Now, kiln dried lumber means that lumber is going to be put through a kiln drying process and extract all that excess moisture. So when wood is exposed to heat, whether it be through the sun or most commonly through the sun in this case, it is going to dry that wood out. It's going to contract, shrink, and oftentimes it wants to splinter and break. Kiln drying in a controlled manner prevents that from happening in the outside elements. It's going to control that and do that process under good circumstances. That way, when you drill into your wood, oftentimes if you're using wet wood or white wood, you'll see a lot of moisture come out. That's not going to happen in this case because the wood is pre-dried. So that is what that means. We talk about that a lot because it's important. As well as in-house engineering oversight, everything at Mallet Buildings is going to be engineered to the fullest degree possible. Mr. Lee definitely is not one to stop at just enough. He's going to go above and beyond in everything. And Mr. Darrell is always pushing him, and he's being pushed to make sure things are even better than they were the day before. That's why in 27 years we've definitely changed the buildings, even from last year to now, are drastically a huge change in what the quality of the buildings are because we're ever seeking change and growth. Now, that's why Mallet, and we're going to preface back to what we opened the topic with, why people are waiting for Mallet buildings. This is a great example because this is simply our classic building, which is our entry-level building. Let's see, Mr. Tim said, oops, can't type, excuse me. 408 to 413 pounds, not 480. That's still a lot of weight, Mr. Tim. So that's an incredible amount of weight, close to 500,000 pounds holding down that building, and that is incredible. Now, moving right along, when you are considering a Mallet building for yourself, we want to make sure you have the opportunity to get a little cash back. And how you can do that? If you are one of these employees, healthcare workers, first responder, military personnel, teacher, or educator, we just want to say thank you and offer you $500 off the bat in your pocket cash money just for doing what you do. We consider your occupation a hero's work, and we want to make sure you are rewarded for that. Even if it's just $500, we want to make sure you get that. Now, Mr. Tim, you're going to dislike this one. The Tiger is done with Mardi Gras. So that being said, the regular Tiger Cash Tiger is going to offer you $1,000 off your next building when you comment cash. 4 letters for $1,000. That's $250 a letter. What's up, Peyton? Miss you too. I miss you so much. Thank you for tuning in. If you want to comment cash, you can get $1,000 off your next building. So thank you so much. It's better than that plastic one you have, I promise. But comment cash on your next elite or signature building is $1,000 off. This does not apply to specials or promotions, I'm sorry, but we still have some good ones and I'll talk about those right now. February is almost over, but we still have some amazing things going on. For the rest of the month, which is about 10 days, you're gonna get free single bubble installation on any classic building, which we just talked about, 1,000 square feet or more. Now, as you can see here, this 30 by 40 by 12 was also listed at $32,389. We've dropped it down to $29,499. So we've got specials and we got deals on the buildings and specials on the deals. So even more money happening here, so make sure you don't miss out on some free insulation. It's gonna come again with all the inclusions of a classic building, a roll-up door, the warranty, and the concrete. Love, love, love this special because Louisiana's hot. So we wanna make sure we get that deal while it lasts. Now, the Cajun Oasis, speaking of while things last, this bad boy was the hottest ticket item of 2025, and we've kept it around for a little bit. However, we are going to be removing it from the list of items here shortly. We're gonna be replacing it soon with something brand new, something super cool. I'm really excited for it, but this is such an amazing building, and I want to tell you about it. A 30 by 50 by 12, which is our most popular building as well, is $49,999. Now, what is included in $49,999? I'm going to tell you. Full basic insulation package, climate control package, that's heating and cooling, a basic electrical package, and a 5-ton wall mounted unit, as you can see here. That is a $16,000 value between electrical and the heating and cooling. You could also ask about spray foam if you want to go just a step further. But that is going to get you a beautiful mallet classic building. And yeah, it includes everything. Insulation, climate control, electrical package, and 5-ton unit. All you have to do is hook your power up to the building and turn the lights on, and you're ready for your home gym, game room, she shed, he shed, whatever you are using this building for, it is ready to go when we are done. And you can't find that many other places. Now, if you are tuning in for not the first time, you're a repeat tuner-inner, thank you very much, but you may have seen us talk about our elite buildings, and we have this in the elite special as well. The Cajun Oasis Elite, it includes the same $16,000 value, the same inclusions. Stop waiting, just get it, you know you want it. Mr. Tim, I love it, thank you so much. 30 by 50 by 12 elite building for $59,999. One of our ambassadors, Mr. Tommy, actually commented earlier today on one of our posts about the elite Cajun Oasis and said he had purchased his elite building, same size, and by the time he actually added the electrical package, the climate control, and all of these things, and he said it was much, much more than simply purchasing the Cajun Oasis. So to put that in comparison, just wanted to let you guys know, you're more than welcome to add these things to other buildings. However, this Oasis special includes it in the price and you get that $16,000 value. Now, where's the $10,000 difference from the classic to elite? I'm gonna share just a few of my favorite features. Obviously, you can see there's some wainscoting. That is an optional feature as well. I think it's absolutely beautiful. It separates the building, just makes it, to me, it makes it look a little bit taller as well. You're also gonna get an additional window. You get your walk-through door, roll-up door, 2 windows, your wall-mounted unit. You can see here you get gutters all the way around the building. You're gonna get post protectors as well. You're gonna get 160-mile-an-hour wind-rated building. You're gonna get closer truss and post spacing. You're also gonna get a slew of other features, including 6-inch 4,000 PSI concrete with microfiber mixed into all of it. And as any building, now you have the option for control joints. So keep that in mind. That's just a few of the updated features of the Elite. There's obviously so many more. Let's see, Mr. Tim, ours will be a wedding venue this October. I have to get busy. That sounds beautiful. I've seen your building and I know the space, so I would love to see what you do for a wedding venue. I too am about to get married, so Wedding venues have been something I have looked a lot into recently, so I'd love to see what you have, Mr. Tim. But this is the Cajun Oasis Elite, you guys. Ask about it, get yourself on the books with it because it's gonna be gone soon. So keep that in mind. Now, when you are considering who to choose as your builder, we want you to choose us, Mallet Buildings, obviously. However, we understand there's a lot of people out there and you're gonna shop around. We want you to do that. But when you're doing that, be sure to consider the 5 red flags because this could save you a lot of headache. Red flag number 1, years of business. Secretary of State website is where you're gonna find this. You wanna make sure the people you're doing business with are actually a licensed business. This is gonna save you so much trouble, so many issues, and so many legal battles because it's a lot. There's just a lot that could go wrong in that instance. So you want to check that out, make sure they're a licensed business and how long they've been around. Here at Mallet Buildings, we've been around for 27 years and counting, and I don't know of anyone else who can say that, so we definitely take pride in that. Red flag number 2 is licensure, continuing that as well. This is gonna make sure they have the right contracting license, whether it be residential, commercial, industrial, whatever it may be, they need to be licensed. You can check this at the LSLBC, which is the Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors. That is going to be where you find these licenses, and while you're there, you can check out any contractor violations also at the LSLBC. Contractor violations, unfortunately, are a very common thing in this field. We're very proud to say that in 27 years, we've got 0 contractor violations, and look forward to continuing that streak. Where did you go with the new wood pattern? The new wood pattern metal, Mr. Tim, is stunning. I saw some the other day and I had to hold it for myself to make sure it wasn't actually wood because it looks just like some wood paneling. And you're gonna be doing your granddaughter's wedding. I know you're a officiant as well, so that's amazing. It's probably beautiful to get to do your granddaughter's wedding. Look forward to that for you. Can't wait to see the pictures. Congratulations. So LSLBC is where you find contractor violations. Reviews in the BBB and Google, the Better Business Bureau, which we are A+ rated and accredited with, and Google. Between the two, we have over 700 reviews, you guys, and 4.89 out of 5 stars, if you do the math like I did. And out of 700 reviews, that to me is incredible. I know personally, I read reviews from everything for little snack packs to cars to whatever you may be buying. I'm gonna read reviews and I'm sure you are the same way. Why should your builder be any different? This is where you go to see customers' experiences, hear how their experience went, where their ups and downs were and how it was handled. Most people don't have a handful of reviews. We've got over 700. So pop some popcorn, check them out, and be sure to give those a read. And finally, red flag number 5, visit the contractor's facility. We make all of our trusses in-house and we're proud of that. We want you to come see that. We have the truss form plant. The roll form plant is rocking and rolling, pun intended. We have the gutter operation. We have the loading bay, storage area, the packing plant. Most importantly, we have us, the employees, the people who work here at Mallet and keep this place running. And that's gonna be everyone from your building specialists who you speak with first, to your designers, to the engineers, to the crews that are putting your building together, to scheduling, keeping this train on the tracks. We want to make sure you get to meet anyone and everyone, have all your questions answered in person if that's how you choose to do things, and we're here to help. So come stop by, check us out. We're in Iowa, Louisiana, right off of Interstate 10. You can't miss the facility. It is huge. And so that being said, those are the red flags. Let's hop into the fun topic for today. Spring maintenance checklist for your post frame building. Like I said, spring cleaning is coming up and we're gonna give you everything you need to know to be ready to keep that maintenance up on your building and keep it in perfect condition. Sound cool? Well, let's do this thing. So, first and foremost, why seasonal maintenance matters, because you wanna know what's important. Here you go. Post frame buildings are engineered for durability. But like any structure, small seasonal checks dramatically extend the lifespan. This is an investment. You want to extend it as far as you can. A 30-minute inspection each spring can prevent water intrusion, fastener failure, rust development, door malfunction, drainage damage. You want to make sure you are keeping an eye on all of these things. Preventative maintenance is always less expensive than structural repair. Let's say that one more time. Preventative maintenance is always less expensive than structural repair. And that's something to keep in mind, you guys. 30 minutes could save you thousands of dollars, and when you put it that way, it's not that big of a task. Now, number 1, inspect your roof system. Look for backed out screws, shifted metal panels, debris in roof valleys, damaged pipes or pipe boots or roof penetrations, and separation at the ridge caps. These are all things you can do with a very simple sweep of the roof. Just be careful up there. If you have a drone, I highly recommend using the drone. But metal expands and contracts during winter temperature swings, which we have a lot of here. This movement can slightly loosen fasteners over time. Retightening or replacing a few screws now prevents long-term leaks. Nothing is worse than a roof leak, so this helps prevent that. Number 2, check the wall panels and exterior trim. Walk the perimeter of the building and look for the following: loose wall panels, lifted base trim, scratches in painted metal, and missing fasteners. If you've noticed scratches down to bare metal, apply touch-up paint to prevent surface rust from forming. So paint is not simply an aesthetical feature. It is something that is a functional feature as well. What I mean by that is paint is going to provide a barrier between the elements and the bare metal. Just like a car, just like anything that's metal, once it's exposed to moisture and oxygen, that's going to react and form rust. We all know what rust is, but a lot of times we don't think about how rust gets there. It kind of just shows up overnight. Having bare metal exposed to the elements is going to be an expedited way of getting that rust, and that's something we want to prevent. So if you see scratches, if you see little dings and dents there, and it goes down to the metal, a little bit of touch-up paint will go a long way and prevent rust from affecting your building. So keep that in mind. Like I said, a little bit of maintenance can prevent a lot of expenses later. Number 3, clean gutters and improve drainage. This is not just a honey to-do list. This is something that's going to help prolong the life of your building. Proper drainage protects both your slab and the embedded posts. Remove leaves and debris from gutters. Confirm downspouts discharge water away from the building. Check for soil erosion near corners. Make sure grade slopes away from the structure. Standing water near your building is the #1 long-term risk factor for structural damage. Is touch-up paint available for the metal? I don't understand the question, Mr. Tim. If you're asking if we offer touch-up paint, that's something I can find out. Other than that, I'm not exactly sure what the question is, but thank you very much. So again, standing water in any situation obviously is no bueno, no good. You want to make sure you are pushing that water where it needs to go. The water is draining off the roof. As I mentioned earlier, leaks will be one of the most damaging things for not only your building, but your possessions inside the building, especially if it's a barn dominium and these are living quarters. That's going to affect everything under that roof, and that can cause mold, damage, and just it's not good long term. So be sure you catch these things early. Again, a quick 30-minute inspection could save you a lot of time and money. Number 4, inspect the concrete slab. So freeze-thaw cycles can reveal small shrinkage cracks. Look for the following: surface cracking, separation at door openings, and minor settlement near edges. Most hairline cracks are cosmetic. However, widening cracks or separation should be evaluated early. We've talked a lot about concrete lately because it is a hot topic. Everyone knows something about concrete, and here's what I'll say. Just like Mr. Darrell said, we're not going to harp on this too much because I'm not an engineer. Most hairline cracks are purely cosmetic, and that we can leave there. However, if you notice these cracks begin to thicken, widen, stretch, move, grow larger to encompass all of that, just if these cracks get bigger, then that's something you may want to get evaluated. You want to bring a professional in. If you want to send us pictures, we can take a look. However you want to get that looked at, be sure you get it evaluated. If you think it's an issue, let us know. If you think it's an issue, get an opinion. Don't let those cracks continue to the point where it's too far gone. Now, that's all we're going to say about concrete. Number 5, Service doors and hardware. Cold weather affects door alignment and hardware tension. Lubricate your roll-up doors, springs, and tracks. Tighten the hinge screws and on-walk doors. Inspect weather stripping and confirm smooth operation. A simple lubrication and tightening routine extends door life significantly. And I will say this on roll-up doors, if they are difficult to roll up or down, or the most annoying thing in the world, if they are squeaky and loud and screaming, this could mean they need to be tightened or lubricated. And that's going to solve a lot of these other issues as well as your general annoyance with that door. And it's going to save you a lot of energy from having to struggle to pull that door up and down. Yes, the door is heavy, but proper lubrication can help with that. So if that sounds good, that sounds good. Number 6, inspect the posts and skirt boards. Walk the base of your building. Check for soil erosion. Inspect skirt boards for moisture exposure and confirm no gaps have developed at grade. Proper drainage and grading remain critical to long-term post protection. Same as we talked about earlier, if water is sitting at these grade boards and at the post, a lot of times that can cause issues. Now, post protectors most definitely help prolong the life of those posts. However, if there is sitting water, we want to find a way to regrade and allow the water to flow in a better manner to, again, prolong the life of the building. Confirm there's no gaps, inspect the boards, check for soil erosion. These 3 things can indefinitely prolong your building's health. Number 7, check for interior moisture and ventilation. Temperature changes can create condensation inside metal buildings. Look for the following: dripping from roof panels, damp insulation, musty smells, and rust on interior fasteners. I can't tell you how many barns I've been in and seen these issues here. Most common in my experience is the dripping from the roof panels. You know, it gets hot, it gets cold, it gets hot, it gets cold. You're gonna form condensation if it's not properly insulated or it's not properly maintained. The damp insulation, this is gonna be a killer because you can have mold, you can have a bunch of different issues with that, and damp insulation is insulation that's not working. Musty smells can come, again, from these issues here, and rust on interior fasteners. If those fasteners rust, that means they're not going to be as healthy or as strong as they should be, which could cause issues in attachment. So if you get a strong wind and your screws are rusted out, they're not going to do their job. So if condensation is present, improving ventilation or adding vapor control may help. Let us know. If this begins to be an issue, give us a call. We'll see what we can do. Let us know. We'll refer you to someone, or we'll take care of it if it's part of what we do. And if that's the issue, we'll make sure we can help get it fixed. Number 8, look for pest entry points. This is my least favorite one. These little critters and crawlers and everything like that. Inspect corners, base trim, door sills. That one's pretty straightforward. You know, there's always an entry point for an insect. I don't know how they do it, but they always find their way. Mice love walls, straight lines, things like that. Make sure there's no way for them to get in. If you see any small gaps, seal them before rodents turn them into larger problems. Again, if you're by fields, by anything like that, you know if there's mice, there's a difference in rats and mice, all that good stuff. However, you want to help prevent making that a problem in the future by solving it up front. Things like that. Let's see. The biggest danger is letting water get under your slab and degrade the pad. Proper drainage, as you mentioned, is critical. I can't see the rest of the comment, but I'm going to go ahead and agree with you with everything you've said so far. The R-foil wrap goes a long way to prevent condensation and drips. The R-foil wrap is phenomenal. I recommend getting that on, I believe it is on everything, so that's going to go a long way. It's just something Mallet does to go above and beyond as that. But water under the pad is horrible. That is another reason drainage is so important. And rodents. Rodents are horrible too. I hate rodents. Number 9, electrical and safety check. Test the GFCI outlets. Check exterior lighting. Inspect exposed conduits for moisture intrusion. Basic rule of thumb here. Electrical, water, don't mix. Electrical and water don't mix. We want to make sure we do not have moisture in our conduits, and if we do, we want to stop it. It can cause a short, it can cause a malfunction, it can mess up your breaker, it could trip things. If it's not properly grounded, you could have a fire or an issue. There's just a lot of things that moisture can do to destroy your electrical, and you want to make sure that you prevent that, and for your safety and the safety of your building. Spring is a good time to confirm everything is functioning safely because it's beautiful outside. This is why it's called spring cleaning. You want to make sure everything is good. This is the perfect time to do that. Now, let me send you off with this. Your post frame building is designed to handle the elements, but staying proactive protects your investment. If you ever have questions about your building's condition, reach out to your builder, which hopefully is us, for guidance. A quick inspection today can protect your structure for decades. A little bit of looking over, it takes 30 minutes to walk through this checklist, you guys, and 30 minutes can save you thousands of dollars and a lot of time, and make sure that your investment is protected properly and for the long haul. So make sure, if you want this checklist, go ahead and comment checklist. We're actually working on getting this into a printable copy, and we can start sending that out to you guys. If you want the checklist, please comment checklist, and as soon as it is completed, we will have it sent out to you for your spring cleaning duties coming up. And if you have any questions, please give us a call, 337-214-0428, or send us a message at malletbuildings.com, and we will be sure to get with you on that. Sound good? So that was the checklist. Now, if you've already purchased a building, which if you're going through this checklist, odds are you have, we want to give you a chance to join the Mallet Ambassador Club. What is the Mallet Ambassador Club? It is a group of amazing individuals who have trusted Mallet Building to build their building. And we are very thankful and honored that you gave us the opportunity to earn your business. And what an ambassador is, they are someone who takes it a little step further than simply being a referrer. So we have a referral program where you can earn money by sending us customers who go through the process and get a building. Wonderful. As an ambassador, you have a chance to receive more of those referrals by allowing us to help, or allowing to educate others on. Let me rephrase all of this. As an ambassador, you get an opportunity to take customers who are looking for more information from a customer's perspective and share your experience with them, whether that be sharing a walkthrough of your building or a phone call or a text message here or there. However you can help, that is the ambassador's job, and that also allows you, the ambassador, to receive extra funds, because if they come and purchase a building, you're their ambassador. So if you have any questions about that or want to get involved in the program, we'd love to have you comment ambassador, and we'll send you all the information you need on that. And that is our show for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Tyler. This has been the wonderful walkthrough guide for spring cleaning. If you learned anything or found any part of this video interesting, please be sure to leave a like, share it with a friend if it was educational, or you think somebody might need to know anything in this video. And if you're thinking about buying a post frame building, make sure you hit that subscribe button, follow along with us. We have informational content every day that's going to be life-changing for your process, and hopefully we have a chance to earn your business here soon. And if you enjoyed, again, please be sure to leave a like, share it with a friend, and we will see you guys tomorrow.